Hello everyone, this is White Wolf, and I wanted to do this live feed and really talk about that we are messengers. We are the messengers that deliver the knowledge, that deliver the intuition, that deliver the resonance to other people. And even in our lives, we're here to change the outcome, not control the outcome. And we do have visions of the future. We have visions of different timelines, different experiences, different relationships, different career paths, and things of that nature. So we are the messengers of the psychic intuition, and we're here to bring forth that vision, bring forth that resonance, bring forth that understanding of what we're here to experience and what we're here to imbibe, but also how we're here to project and how we're here to be of service so that people can gain an understanding, they can gain an understanding of their abilities, and they can gain an understanding of their wisdom here and now, so that they can really understand the reason why they are here, the reason why they are supposed to awaken in this timeline. So understanding that we are the messengers, we deliver the knowledge, we deliver the resonance, we deliver everything that is here. So we present it, we emulate it, we allow ourselves to become it, so that we're able to bring forth the understanding of perception. And then the insight comes in and it develops this foresight, and we develop the sense of downloading that knowledge and downloading that sense of resonance, that sense of truth, that sense of sense and sensibility, so that there is a coping mechanism, and it's not fight or flight anymore, but it is divine obedience, it's divine orchestration. We allow ourselves to be divine, and we allow ourselves to let go of the attachment of belief systems that do not support our worthiness. So when we are messengers, when we are oracles, when we are psychics, we see a glimpse in slivers of the future. But we ourselves have to develop the skill set, develop the actions, develop the emotions, and to develop the sense of recognizing our consciousness, recognizing our divinity within ourselves, within our lives, within how we put it out there in the ethers, and understanding that we are here to really give guidance. We are a guide. We become a spirit guide. So we become like the higher self, which is a guide. We become like our spirit guides, whether it's our archangels or Native Americans or beings from different realms. So we become a guide that is able to channel their energy, balance their energy, have a different polarity of positive and negative, but also understanding and discerning light and dark energy. So therefore, we are here to promote and to give unconditionally. To give unconditionally means to sacrifice everything. Sacrifice everything that's costing you everything, and that's not allowing you to grow, not allowing you to expand, not allowing you to see past what's right in front of you as a reflection. So different catalysts, different expressions, different lessons that we live on our life progression, in transcending those past lifetime progressions, but also we are here to really receive a purified ego. Understanding and discerning that purified ego is understanding that we're living only by truth, living by the truth, and knowing that the truth supersedes all understanding. So the truth sets us free. And when we have freedom, we have the ability of choice. We have the ability of changing. We have the ability of not controlling our lives, but controlling and understanding how we can control ourselves. How we don't have to control the outcome or how it goes or how it's perceived by ourselves, but we can literally tap into the present here and now and understand that we are the outcome that we're seeking. We are the destination that we're seeking, because it is the journey ultimately. So we don't always have the answers, but it's always about how we ask the question, how we present the question, and how we present ourselves as a person that wants to be of a divine soul, of a divine purity, of a divine understanding on we are the messengers of psychic intuition. So when we're able to give a psychic reading, we're not giving everybody the answer. We're allowing them to receive validation. We're allowing them to know that they're not alone, and we're just giving love unconditionally. So therefore, when we're able to understand our abilities and how we can use our abilities as the messengers, as the grid workers, as high priestess, or even people who are shamans, a lot of us have different paths, but all of the paths mean something to us in many different religions and many different psychic abilities and many different, like Buddhism and things of that nature, many different ideologies and theologies really tell us that we're all connected. We're all connected to the same thing. So no matter who is doing it, but it's the fact that we're applying ourselves, it's the fact that we are doing it, it's the fact that we're all understanding one another. That's the golden age of enlightenment. And what I really wanted to talk about is really understanding that a lot of the times in our lives, we try to control the outcome. But we are the outcome. We are the parallel reality. We are the living vortex. We are the consciousness. And it's understanding our consciousness and changing our thinking, but also changing how we view our finances, changing how we view our relationships. So it's an overarching overview of the spiritual journey, no matter how you're experiencing it. So it doesn't matter how you're experiencing it. It's the fact that you are experiencing it. And it's the fact that you're still here and you see what we had to go through, not only within our past lifetimes, but also within our childhoods. So everything has a direct correlation of how we're becoming more of the enlightened being that we're trying to become, the higher self, or maybe you follow a different set of parameters than I do. Maybe you're anointed differently than me. But it's understanding that everybody is energy and we're able to interpret energy and we're able to understand energy and we're able to put it in a grounded form to where everybody can understand it. So we are stronger than we think, and we're actually more complex than we think in our simplicity. So, but it's seeing the simplicity to express the gratitude, to not have expectations, but also have the adaptation to really reform and regenerate and reinvent ourselves every single time. So there's always this disintegration aspect when we are becoming more conscious, becoming more in tune with our psychic abilities, but also when we're becoming more accepting of ourselves. Like some of you may have been very pessimistic in your childhoods, like myself. So understanding that I've been pessimistic in my childhood and dealing with the trauma in my childhood and understanding my different belief systems, we all have to go through something in the suffering to lead us to somewhere, like the dark night of the soul, if you will. So therefore, everybody is connected in some way, shape, or form. We all know each other. We are all brothers and sisters in some way, shape, or form. And we all have a reason for the experiences that we attract to ourselves. So understanding that even the relationships in our lives that we attract to ourselves, whether it's husband, wives, girlfriends, best friends, family, we have soul contracts, we have twin flames, we have soul mates. So understanding that soulmate could be your best friend. Soul contract could be your family. And a twin flame could be a relationship that happens for 3 or 4 months that really is supposed to teach you and fast track you on your journey. So all of the lessons and all of the extrapolation of what we're understanding, that we're becoming more of ourselves every single time that we expand, that we choose to step out in faith, that we understand that living this life is understanding that we are not here to be upset, to be sad, to be condemned, to be in a box. So sometimes it's looking at what is right in front of us is the answer sometimes. Sometimes something is directly being reflected to us and we don't really want to look at it or something like that. And sometimes it's really just seeing how you change in your appearance, seeing how you change in the way that you dress, or seeing the way that you change within your life. Maybe you weren't as excited about going on a roller coaster ride than you were 5 to 10 years ago. So it means that we become more fearless in our decision making, but also we become more fearless about obedience and letting the divine work on our behalf and allowing the divine to bless us and not always just believing in the way that we can bless ourselves. Because sometimes we as people feel like that we have to do it, we have to carry the burden, we have to carry the weight. We have to carry all the weight of the world on our shoulders. And that's a service to self kind of way to live. Instead, we have to understand that we have divine assistance. But are we really asking the right questions? But are we really bringing it up in a way that it makes sense to us? So we have to develop the sense of perception. We have to develop the sense of intentionality. And we have to understand so it's like this person, what about sickness? I've been sick for 3 weeks. How am I attracting that? I want to heal. Sometimes distortions are meant to be experienced. Sometimes you have to be sick at that point in time. Sometimes you could be even psychically attacked. And sometimes it's something that you have to experience, but also it could be something that you're attracting to yourself, or belief systems, or thinking about yourself in a certain way. So absolutely. So if you're wanting to heal, my recommendation would be doing the Kundalini energy for 30 minutes a day. Also, I would ask the divine. I would ask your angels. I would ask your guides. But also, I would just speak against the sickness. So that goes along with what I'm talking about in this live feed here, is that we are the messengers. So the message that can be very profound in your experience is saying that I am not the sickness. I am not the person that is sick. The person that thinks that they're sick is not me. So I would speak against it, and I would allow yourself to do the Kundalini energy for 30 minutes a day, which is an energy of release. So obedience is really understanding that you are the divine sense of understanding of who you are. So sometimes we think that because our society tells us to do something that we should do it, or that we should go to the dentist, that we should go to the doctor immediately. Now, if you need to seek medical help, I would do that. But sometimes what we experience can be a lack of empowerment. It can be a lack of an awareness. It could be something that we're attracting to ourselves. It could be an old pattern from another lifetime, but it also could be the pattern that you're assuming yourself in. And then once you break that pattern, then something is broken off from you. It could be a change. It could be an energetic bondage. But it also could be something generationally as well. So I don't think people really take that into consideration. If you're a person that doesn't get sick all the time, and there's a reason why I'm discussing this on this live, if you're a person that's usually healthy and then all of a sudden you're sick, there's something amiss. So, and sometimes it could be changing the diet as well. So we are the messengers, and we don't really control the outcome of the future. But we have the ability to change the outcome of the future, to change how we're assuming it, but to change our position in it as well, and to embrace that we are simultaneity, and to embrace that we are omnipresence. So understanding is really understanding the very fact that we don't have to do the things that a lot of people want us to do. And it's understanding that you don't have to always listen to people. You don't always have to listen to what is most in conformity. But you have to listen to your heart. You have to listen to your divinity. You have to listen to your intuition and where it guides you. If you see something that you don't resonate with, or you hear a type of music that you don't resonate with, you're not going to listen to that music. You're not going to listen to the hip-hop channel if you don't like the hip-hop channel. You're not going to listen to the country station if you don't like the country station. But you really might like the punk rock station, and that gets you in tune with your divinity. You'll be surprised that many spiritual people listen to many different types of music, and it gets them in their primal optimum state because they're attuned to a different frequency that they're not normally attuned to when they were not awakened. So everybody has a reason to be here. We have a heart, we have divinity, we have resonance, we have a choice to understand that we are the messengers, but we are not the people that just does everything for everybody. That's not being a leader. That's not being a person that's willing to stand up among the rest and shine really bright, because you have to sacrifice every single thing that you're experiencing. You have to lose attachment. You have to lose position. You have to understand that you're not here to follow certain constructs or certain awarenesses or follow the truth that I'm even delivering. But it's just out there so that you're able to digest it and you're able to decide for yourself. So being more decisive is how we become more automatic in our awareness and our choices in our divinity. So we don't have to choose what we're living in now. We don't have to keep perpetuating a false self, a false state of mind, a false state of body, and a false state of spirit. Because once we ditch the false attachments, the false illusions, and the false belief systems, but also that we're not as gifted as we should be, but it's just working on ourselves every single day. It's actually learning how to use your ability even better. And it takes a little bit of time, and it just takes a little bit of practice. But if you teach yourself how to meditate and sit for 10, 20, 30 minutes, it doesn't have to be 5 hours. I think that's, a little overboard. But if you need to do that, then do that. But sometimes you can literally get into your optimum state within 10 minutes. It means that you have separated yourself from your thoughts. You're not focused on the physical, you're focused on the non-physical. The non-physical brings everything into the physical so that the physical is knowing its divine self. So the inner world changes the outer world. And if you change how you are on the inside, then you're changing everything else on the outside. So therefore, and I know I sound like a science teacher or something, not trying to, but therefore, what you're doing is that you are literally connecting to the astral plane when you're connecting non-physically, when you're meditating, when you're tapped in completely into the third eye. You are connecting to your guides, your higher self, and you're also connecting to an absolute reality, meaning the reality that's beyond space and time, the reality of complete, full eighth density consciousness, which is next universe. And that's when you've transitioned, but also you're still in between certain states of consciousness because you have to be grounded. You can't just be at eighth density and project that way because people are not going to understand you. There needs to be a set of parameters and balance and responsibility. But what you're doing is that you're kind of at mid-sixth, mid-seventh density, and you're able to balance those energies, balance the wisdom and the understanding and the truth as being a messenger. But you're also pulling the power in that you don't even have to think about what you're saying, and whatever comes out of your mouth isn't of a negative nature. It's out of a holistic nature. It's out of a nature that's out of love, out of truth, out of resonance, and out of a sense of divinity. So therefore, and I keep saying that for some reason because I'm channeling, what are we here to meditate for? What are we intending upon? Why do we have psychic abilities? And why were we not taught this as young children? And actually, most of you have had these abilities before you even knew about them. That's what the kicker is. Sometimes you could literally look at a person and be like, there's something not right there, or you sense their energy, you sense their pulse, you were empathic to begin with, even when you didn't know you were empathic. That means we've always had these abilities, but we did not have the cognizance of the abilities. So, if we didn't have the cognizance, if we didn't have the ability to know it, we didn't have the ability to apply it. But it's just applying yourself, it's just finding time to really rest in your awareness, to soak, to really ground yourself within the earth, taking time to just walk into the grass, but also taking a time to just appreciate the world. Appreciation goes a long way. Expectation is a negative way to be. Service to self is a negative way to be. And also, When we're unable to receive, that's a very hard way to live, because then we're stumping our growth. It's kind of like we want to be a certain height and a build, but we didn't eat a lot when we were children, right? Because your parents always told you to eat, right? But spiritually, we need to eat more. We need to soak up the essential oils of Source and really eat more sustenance, so that we can grow taller and brighter and be more in our dignity instead of in our flesh. So we have to really tell the flesh no a lot on the spiritual path. Now, I'm not saying to be celibate and be a monk. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is really, we have to separate ourselves from the illusion. And with this meditation that we're going to be doing, is going to help us do that and help us perfect that. So stay tuned for the meditation. Also, guys, I'm going to be going live at 10 or 11 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to be doing readings, healings, activations. They're going to be $33 donations. And I have a 40-minute special for $100 and 1-hour sessions for $200. Anything longer than that, we'll have to discuss that. But we're going to do a meditation. Feel free to breathe. Feel free to get into your optimal state. Feel free to not suppress anything, but to ultimately just receive in this moment. Now feel the presence within. Feel how powerful you can be in this moment. See how with a snap of a finger that you can create with omnipresence. But to see that you're really within the astral plane of existence. Embracing the non-physical fully allows us to escape the illusion. It allows us to work on the inner world, the attachments, the focus, the thoughts, the emotions, the inner work in the inner healing journey, so that we're able to break free from the energetic bondages, the cords, and to set ourselves free and rise up out of the cocoon, and also get rid of that wooden beam that's on our shoulders, the weight of the world, and to just get the beam off and just throw it off of ourselves and let go of feeling unworthy, let go of those negative thoughts, but also empower yourself past your motivations. Become the intentionality. When you become the intentionality, it means that you are attentive and dedicated to orchestrating your life by divinity. Meaning that you have divine obedience within yourself to follow and step out in faith. That you're able to speak the words of wisdom. That you're able to trust the process even if it's challenging. That it's time for you to just step up and to be bold, courageous, and don't be afraid to ask for more and never settle for less. Know that you are the messenger and you don't control the outcome of the future, but you have the ability to change the outcome, to change how it goes. You have the ability to change and transform. And no matter what goes on in your life, no matter how many distractions or noises or illusions that present themselves to you as appearances, that no matter what appears to you, you are not going to lose focus or lose sight of who you are. You're going to stay present and overwhelm your excitement. And therefore, when you are in this state, there is nothing that can be affected. There's nothing that can be altered. There's only repelling any source of energy that is not of your divinity, that is not of your truth, that is not of who you are in this moment. And you have to treat your meditations as if you're priming yourself to conduct a speech or run a marathon, but it's just to get you snapped back in to that level of focus, that level of acceleration, and that you get on top of everything in the morning or at night, wherever you're alive at. And you just get on top of everything. And you don't let it get away from you, and you don't let it get the better of you. You have the ability to control it. This means that we are the messengers. We are the grid workers. We are the people that are meant to awaken. But we have the ability to make this exhilarating. We have the ability to make this very powerful. We have the ability to tap into our psychic intuition, into that psychic atomic energy, so that we're able to be an interpreter of energy and be able to investigate why we do the things that we do. So that means we're becoming a mirror to other people. So, what do you want to reflect back to your consciousness? What do you want to emanate? Who do you want to become? And how can you every single day, every minute, every second, can you become the oracle of bloodline wisdom? In its purest, in its rawest, in its most loving form. To be the oracle of love, of light, of wisdom, which is God manifested in the human form. Everyone take one last deep breath. Exhale. And so it is. And that was the meditation. So I hope you guys really enjoyed the meditation. And thank you so much for stopping by. And if you received the meditation, if you received the message wherever you were at, thank you so much for stopping by. And also, feel free to book private sessions. I do have a 40-minute special for $100 and 1 hour session for $200. And I'm going live tonight around 10 or 11 p.m. Eastern doing live readings, sealings, activations for $33. So feel free to stay tuned and also feel free to join. This is White Wolf signing off, and so it is. Just remember that we are the messengers. And we have to demonstrate wisdom, we have to demonstrate respect, and we have to really be unconditional to the recipients so that they are able to understand what they're going through, so that they can have a sense of validation. And you're just there to give them the love, the guidance, and the intuition from your psychic abilities. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I'll post this on YouTube sometime, and the TikToks that I do, I usually post those on YouTube as well. It's White Wolf the Oracle. So without further ado, this is White Wolf signing off, and so it is. Thank you so much. God bless. And I'm